is a singles match set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Kid Lykos 2, Kid Lykos!
Well, this is the second time we've seen Kid Lykos 2 here in ICHIBAN. He was with us at Final Sting in February. He's back here tonight. He's going to be in action later on, but as you can see, this time he's brought his tag team partner, his mentor with him, the original Kid Lykos, here in ICHIBAN this afternoon.
Introducing his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, Jordon Breaks!
Well, I've had the pleasure of following the career of Jordon Breaks for a number of years and commentating on quite a few of his matches. I still find Breaks something of an enigma in the sense that he is undoubtedly one of the best technical wrestlers we have here in the UK or indeed anywhere, but I'm not sure he always gets the respect, the flowers that he deserves when it comes to those skills. He doesn't get the recognition maybe that others get. Gio, as you rejoin me at the commentary booth here, pulling double duty today on the ring announcing, why do you think that is with Jordon Breaks? Why doesn't he necessarily get those props?
I think you've touched on a really important point there, Dave. Pride cometh before the fall, and I think Jordon Breaks is aware of that, and he leans so far the other way. He is the most modest and humble wrestler I know, despite the fact that every time Jordon Breaks is in the ring, it's a sellout at Gorilla, and people are climbing over each other to get a peek through the curtain to watch his matches. Jordan doesn't acknowledge this in himself, but having said that, backstage after his match at Ichiban 1 is the first time, I think ever, I've seen him acknowledge his own ability and talent. He said, "There is no other wrestler like me." So maybe if he leans into that a bit more, we'll see the most confident version of Jordon Breaks we'll have ever seen.
There's every reason to be confident. There was a hell of a victory at Ichiban 1 over Shane Hook, and we're still in the early days of this company, obviously. Wins and losses going to be very, very important for who's going to stand out from the crowd in the early going. Breaks having already got one victory under his belt. If he can build up some momentum, get a streak going 2 in a row here by beating Kid Lykos this afternoon, well, that's got to mean something for sure, but that is going to be no easy task because Lykos, another one who's maybe a little underrated for his technical skills. Breaks going for a crucifix cover there. We know that Lykos, very well known for his tag team work as part of the Lykos gym and various other championships he's won in singles competition, but I think Jordon Breaks is going to have his handful here with Kid Lykos when it comes to wrestling down on the mat.
Certainly, that's why I think this is such a stroke of genius by the Ichiban booking committee. This is a first time ever match happening at Ichiban, but I think these are two styles that really complement each other. As you said, we're used to seeing Lykos in these high-flying tag team contests, but one-on-one is where you really see his technical aspect shine. Big fan of Puroresu, of Llave, as we've seen exemplified by Angelico over in AEW in his days in the independent circuit. And I think Kid Lykos, he's going to be looking forward to implementing all these skills on Jordon Breaks, but the thing is, you can't focus on enjoyment of the match. It's about trying to win. It's about trying to pin Jordon Breaks' shoulders to the mat, which his opponents find very, very difficult because that man is like an octopus.
It's going to be very hard to pin Kid Lykos' shoulders to the mat if he's going to be as agile as that. You saw the monkey flip there, and Lykos landing on his feet off the back of that, and a wry smile on his face after that as he gets the shoulders of Breaks down for a 2 count. Breaks tried to counter, Lykos got him down again, another 2 count. Now Breaks does have him. Lykos forcing that left shoulder up. You can see Breaks with his knuckle locks here, just trying to push those arms down into the canvas again.
See referee Sandy Beach is really earning her paycheck in the background there, and look at the abdominal strength of Kid Lykos into the double leg Nelson, but Jordon Breaks rolls her immediately, looking for the Boston Crab.
Look at the double leg by Kid Lykos. Some strength there from Lykos, by the way, but the poise, the balance as well to lift up Breaks in that way was really world class. There's a headlock takedown from Breaks, who's just going to try and slow down the pace here a little bit. You talked about the high-flying skills of Kid Lykos. I think it suits Breaks more if this is a more methodical style, if he's able to dictate things, keep it as a kind of systematic dismantling of Kid Lykos, but that's all to the better for Jordon Breaks.
I'd say the longer this match goes on, the more it favours Jordon Breaks. We've seen him go the distance in some incredible battles in various other promotions. Obviously, one of the most tenured wrestlers currently going in this modern era when it comes to British rounds matches. We've seen him perform at Pro Wrestling Ceasefire and at prestigious Premier Promotions in those battles. 6 rounds, 5 minutes apiece, but hang on a minute.
Yeah, roll up there from Lykos. Both these two, I think, part of the strategy here in the opening minutes has been to try and take the other one by surprise, try and keep those shoulders down before they even know that the shoulders are down, get the 3 count by stealth almost. Lykos, though, changing strategy here, looking to force a submission out of Jordon Breaks. You can see the panic in the body language of Breaks. He knew he had to get to the bottom rope fast, and he did.
See the pain in the eyes of Jordon Breaks there. I believe that was a modified Indian deathlock. See him wrenching at the knees. Good Lykos able to control things. Breaks by the left arm there. Simon carry takedown of sorts, then holding that left arm once more. Breaks trying to use his legs to help himself out of trouble. Lykos, a bit of humiliation here on Breaks, with him just slapping the stomach there. There is that kind of hockey streak, that self-confidence would be the charitable way to put it with Kid Lykos. Yeah, and that's something we're seeing the opposite of in Jordon Breaks right now. Well, hang on a minute.
Shoulder roll. He's able to adjust there, improvise Breaks when Lykos didn't go to the position he thought he was going to go to. Got him again though, looking for the Boston Crab. There's a cartwheel from Breaks. This time it's Breaks showing his agility. We saw Lykos do that earlier on the monkey flip, finding a way to stay on his feet. Now a backslide attempt from Breaks. Look at Lykos though, look at the position of that right foot, just hooked around the leg of Breaks to prevent him from going over the back.
We saw this against Shane Hook, launching him right into the air. At ICHIBAN 1, he launched Shane Hook 16 feet across the ring. This time he launched Kid Lykos completely straight up in the air.
It's a near fall off the back of it as well as Breaks. This match proving to be everything we hoped it would be when it comes to technical acumen. It is Jordon Breaks though, once again, who's on top here, literally bending the fingers backwards of Lykos. The position he's got those legs in as well, it's going to make it very hard for Lykos to escape. Luckily he was close enough anyway without having to crawl anywhere to get that bottom rope, because I don't think he would have been able to maneuver himself. Breaks just going to roll him backwards, twisting the arm. He's like a human torture rack, isn't he? Jordon Breaks, the way he just stretches out any limb he can get his hands on.
He's one of those wrestlers that beats you up with your own limbs. It's incredibly terrifying and disorienting for his opponents, but look at this. Traps the arm, kneeling Boston Crab. Every time Kid Lykos reaches to try and free himself, Jordon Breaks adds a new limb to the hold.
Octopus, isn't he? He's got so many tentacles he can grab different parts of your body with. It feels like Lykos, in the end, realizing that he wasn't going to find a way to counter. He was just being smothered there by Breaks, and the only way out really was to go to the ropes again and force the break.
Perfectly legal as long as you release within the referee's 5 counts, which is much less lenient here than it is at other promotions. You can see there, grip of the shoulder, now going for a gut wrench. Continuously switching and adjusting his grip to throw Kid Lykos off balance, off guard, to disorient him.
Trying to lift Lykos there. Lykos is keeping himself grounded though by holding onto the head of Breaks, that ends up behind him. Snapmare takedown. Come off the ropes. In the end, Breaks will send him to the ropes. There's a backwards leapfrog, and he's going to throw Breaks to the outside. Lykos looking to take to the skies, and he does so. And that is where Lykos has the advantage when it comes to those aerial maneuvers.
Incredibly dangerous and short distance to clear there, but Lykos managed to do it.
Decision to adjust his trajectory according to the surroundings for Kid Lykos. After that success, maybe going to test out gravity again. Yes, he does. Cross body, stays on top for the cover, and it's a 2 count for Lykos.
Lykos still looking to gain a little bit of stamina here. As I said, the longer this match goes on, the more I believe it's in Jordon Breaks' favour. Hang on, crucifix.
Breaks again. How many times have we seen Breaks just doing that? We talked about him taking by surprise, and Lykos, after landing that twisting senton, now Breaks though. Again, another submission hold here on Lykos. Lykos shaking his head, refusing to give up. Lykos just scrambling into a position, now got the arm bar. Lykos was trying to hyperextend that elbow of Breaks, couldn't quite get it as straight as he wanted it. Now look, the sleeper hold applied.
Breaks has to be careful if his shoulders go flat to the floor. Sandy Beaches is in perfect position to count. Oh, he rings the bell of Lykos.
Yeah, just lessening the resistance in a very novel way. He's got the shoulders down again. Couldn't get the 3 count, but he's going to try for the sharpshooter. Seen Breaks force a submission from a lot of opponents with the sharpshooter. Couldn't turn him over, but he has stayed on top. He's got that knee now buried in the lower back. Lumbar part of the spine, able to just lever him into the bow and arrow. Lykos hung upside down here.
Jordon Breaks has positioned himself so that Lykos cannot use his legs to get to the ropes, and his arms are too far away as well. Repositions again.
Again, just keeping the legs tied up. Now the shoulders of Lykos are down, making his opponent think about multiple things at the same time. Trying to focus on not tapping out despite the immense pain, but also having to kick out of a pin attempt. To your point, Gio, as well, that bow and arrow, the position that Breaks was in was such that Lykos couldn't flip on top of him and get a pin attempt, which we've seen a lot of wrestlers do as a counter to that hold, but Breaks always thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead. Lykos, though, getting a victory roll, the counter from Breaks.
10 minutes gone.
Men finding ways to get their opponent's shoulders down, but neither of them able to do it for the 3 count. Breaks though kneels down. Could that do it? No, it won't. Into a sunset flip and a kick out again.
We're into the 10-minute mark now. We're halfway through this bout, 20-minute time limit. If the time limit expires, this bout is ruled as a draw, no overtime. He's got the pin, hang on! No, Jordon Breaks' shoulders not touching. Sandy Beach is in perfect position.
Now they are down for a 2 count. Even though there's still 10 minutes left here, you can see as soon as that 10-minute announcement was made that we're into the second half of the time limit here, the urgency of both of these two has noticeably accelerated. Breaks will look for the sharpshooter. This time he'll get it. How he sat down on him there. And the tap out from Kid Lykos, just like that. Breaks wins.
Submission, Jordon Breaks.
Jordon Breaks with a submission victory to go 2-0 here in ICHIBAN. We talked about the self-confidence of Jordon Breaks. Well, that certainly won't do it any harm.
Certainly won't. Jordon Breaks on a roll, putting away one of the most decorated wrestlers in the country, someone who's very influential in the scene, and we see some mutual respect there, some admiration. And Jordon Breaks, look at it, it's hard to tell, but he's happy with himself.
I'm sure he will be once the pain wears off, but he was put through the ringer there by Kid Lykos, no doubt. Kid Lykos too, of course, in action later on against Leon Cage. That's going to be a hell of a match. But as was this, Jordon Breaks, your winner over the original Kid Lykos.